to Love Unfiltered. I'm Logan. Today, we're tackling a topic that affects almost every relationship at some point: money. Whether we like it or not, finances can be a major source of stress between partners. From differing spending habits to saving goals, money can lead to some tricky conversations. Now, we all know that money can be an uncomfortable topic, but learning to talk about it openly is so important in building a strong, trusting relationship. So, in today's episode, we'll explore practical strategies for navigating finances together, building financial trust, and turning money from a source of tension into a way to grow closer as a couple. So, why are financial planning and open conversations about money so important for couples? Well, when we think about it, money touches nearly every aspect of our lives, from where we live to how we spend our free time. For couples, especially those reaching big milestones, finances can play a huge role. Imagine moving in together, for instance. It's an exciting step, but it also means deciding on things like rent, utilities, and daily expenses. Without clear discussions up front, money can quickly become a point of confusion or even conflict. Then, think about it. Think about all the special moments that come up in relationships. Buying meaningful gifts, planning holiday trips, saving up for future goals. These shared experiences often come with a cost, and how each person views spending and saving can vary a lot. Some might see money as something to enjoy and share freely, while others may feel it's essential to save every penny. It's common for couples to come from different financial backgrounds or habits, which means they may not see eye to eye initially. This is why having open conversations about money is so crucial. When couples can sit down, discuss their priorities, and set shared financial goals, it builds trust and reduces tension. Financial planning isn't just about the numbers. It's about creating a roadmap for your future together, where both partners feel heard and respected. Plus, tackling finances as a team can make every goal feel more achievable and every milestone more meaningful. Now, we have invited students from diverse backgrounds to share their unique perspectives on love, relationships, and everything in between. Let's go around and meet everyone. Please state your name, classification, and major.
I'm Dylan.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm Dylan. I'm a sophomore and I'm a digital media studies major.
I'm Samia. I'm a freshman and I'm a applied design major.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. Let's get into a preview of what we're going to be discussing. In today's episode, we're diving into some key strategies to help couples build financial transparency and trust. First, we'll talk about the importance of understanding each other's financial habits and histories. After all, money values are often shaped long before we enter a relationship. Next, we'll cover how to set up open, judgment-free money conversations and create shared financial goals. And finally, we'll look at practical ways to manage spending and saving together without feeling restricted. Whether you're just starting out or working together, working toward a bigger goal, our goal is to give you the tools to approach finances with honesty and teamwork, turning money into something that brings you closer rather than driving you apart. Let's get started on today's topic. Now, when it comes to money, everyone brings their own unique perspective to the table, often shaped by how we were raised and the financial experiences we've had. These individual money mindsets can really influence how we spend, save, and view money as a whole. For example, someone who grew up in a household where money was tight may be very careful with spending and focused on saving, while someone who was raised in a more financially stable environment might feel more comfortable spending on things they enjoy or investing in experiences. The important thing is recognizing that these money mindsets are deeply personal and aren't right or wrong. They're just different. When we understand our own habits and those of our partner, it's easier to have empathy and communicate openly. In a relationship, this awareness can help you identify and respect each other's financial boundaries and find ways to bridge any gaps in your spending or saving styles. And remember, these conversations are less about changing each other, and more about finding balance together. What are your guys' thoughts?
Like, just on money in general in relationships.
Yes, like just like maybe people having different experiences with growing up, maybe money was tight growing up and other people it was more financially stable. So, what do you guys think about like those differences and how to navigate that?
I feel like with relationships in general, it all comes down to just like communicating about it and then just setting boundaries and goals and then just trying to keep up with that.
I definitely agree with that.
Um, so I'm kind of in more like a financially stable environment, and my girlfriend is kind of less like that. So she kind of has a mentality that she really, really, really wants to be rich. And also, my dad tells me like constantly that money's not a motivator. So that's just something that was always in my head. So it's just two different ways of living. We still gotta like find a way to understand that. I have to tell her like, okay, I understand it is different. It's not necessarily a bad thing that I prioritize other things other than like materialism, and she's worried about money and more stuff like that. But it's like I'm fine with it, but it's kind of something we got to work on.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. All right. For me, honestly, I feel like I grew up in a household where it was more financially stable, and that kind of made me more feel more comfortable spending. And I feel like me honestly, I feel like I have kind of a bad habit with spending too much or too often, but I am working on like getting a hang of that and saving more because now I have like these responsibilities. Like I have a dog, so now I have to like incorporate those finances, like the food, how much that costs, or hopefully and not prayerfully no vet bills and anything like that. But I have to incorporate more things that I have to pay for, like gas, because I have a car and things like that. So I feel like I have to learn how to save better. So yeah.
I feel the same way, honestly. I'm kind of the same with my money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
definitely trying to save it.
All right, all right. So, when it comes to building a strong financial foundation as a couple, discussing long term goals is absolutely key. Whether it's saving for a home, planning a dream vacation, or even starting a family, openly talking about where you see yourselves down the road helps align both your expectations and priorities. When partners openly share their goals, it becomes much easier to support each other and work toward what really matters to both of you. Start with an honest conversation about what you each envision. Even if your timelines or priorities don't match exactly, understanding each other's perspectives can lead to compromises that keep both of you happy. For example, maybe one partner wants to save aggressively for a house while the other values having more immediate experiences like travel. Together, you can create a plan that balances those goals. By checking in regularly, you'll stay on the same page and keep those goals alive. And remember, it's okay if things shift over time. The important part is keeping that line of communication open so you're both working toward a future that feels fulfilling for both of you. What are your thoughts?
Mm, I guess yeah, just like compromising is super important. Just like trying to meet in the middle of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if y'all have the same like values and you also understand each other and what y'all want, it shouldn't be hard to like understand how to manage y'all money together.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. It's like, definitely communicate that as well. So that I feel like both people should get something out of it. So you should definitely like meet in the middle and not bump heads, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like with the housing thing you just said, it could be a thing where like they start renting something and then like do like at least traveling to different states because that's already expensive. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, or nearby countries.
Yeah. All right. So let's get practical. When it comes to managing finances as a couple, a little organization goes a long way. One easy way to start is by setting up a shared spreadsheet or using a budget app to track your finances together. It doesn't have to be complex. A simple breakdown of income, expenses, and savings goals can make a big difference in keeping both of you on the same page. Apps like Mint, YNAB, which is You Need a Budget, or even Google Sheets can be great for this because they allow you to see real time updates and stay accountable. Another helpful step is to set aside a specific time each month. Think of it as a money date to review your goals, check in on your budget, and adjust as needed. This can actually be a great way to reduce any money related stress and stay connected as you work together towards your shared goals. By putting these small systems in place, you're not only staying organized, but also building transparency and trust around money. What are your thoughts?
Keeping track does sound like a really good idea. Like just being responsible for what you do, especially if you're sharing the money together. Like definitely being mindful about how you're spending it and how much you're spending would definitely be like really beneficial to everyone.
Yeah, I have really bad money management, so anything that could help me would be, beneficial. Anything like practical that I actually do, and not just be like, okay, don't spend money. Like that's not helping me.
Mm-hmm. And I really do like the using apps like Mint and YNAB and Google Sheets. That I feel like organization will definitely keep both partners on track, and it also allows you guys to be, honest and transparent towards one another, so that you can like trust each other around the money in the household.
Yeah, definitely actually seeing where it's going helps a lot.
Mm-hmm. All right. When it comes to managing shared expenses in a relationship, one of the big questions is how do we split things in a way that feels fair? There are a few common methods that couples often consider depending on their unique financial situations and comfort levels. One popular approach is a straightforward 50-50 split, where both partners contribute equally. This can work well for couples who have similar incomes or prefer to keep things as even as possible. However, for couples with different income levels, splitting everything down the middle might not feel entirely fair, and that's where the income based approach comes in. With an income based split, each partner contributes a percentage of their income rather than an equal dollar amount. This way, the financial loads feel more balanced based on each person's ability to pay. For example, if one partner earns significantly more, they might take on a larger share of the expenses, making it easier for both partners to stay within their budgets and feel good about their contributions. The key is open communication. Talk openly about what feels fair and sustainable. Remember, there's no one size fits all answer. So the best approach is the one that works for both of you. What are your thoughts?
It's definitely like you have to really see like how it works for you because again, like trying to make sure like your incomes match might be hard, but also like because people there are like different ways people operate and like earn their income. Like one partner might end up staying in the house and stuff more often than the other, so that might also be like a whole thing that determines like how they contribute and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think it can be I think it can be hard to like stick to, say, for example, 50-50. It can be hard to stick to like 50-50. It has to be a lot of compromise going around because some stuff happens in life. You gotta switch stuff up. You might not make that much that month or have something else you gotta do. So it just really has to be a lot of like trust between y'all and trust that, you got each other's back because it's supposed to be a partnership at the end of the day. It's not really a business negotiation. Like it doesn't have to be that, you know, concrete of a deal, how you're gonna divide the money and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I do like the Like the 50-50 split, I can definitely see that if like both people were making the same amount of money. And I also like that percentage thing because that does make sense. Like if someone made like less, like significantly less than you, I can't see them splitting their checks in half because they would get so little out of it once all the stuff going towards bills and things was gone. So I can definitely see like giving them a fair percentage would make sense. So that's what I think about that. It's more sustainable and fair. All right, let's dive into budgeting for household expenses. Setting up a clear monthly budget can make all the difference in keeping finances stress free and helping you and your partner stay on the same page. Here's a simple approach to get started. First, make a list of all your essential expenses, things like rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, and any other shared expenses. Once you have the list, assign an approximate amount to each category based on your past spending. Be realistic here. It's better to overestimate than to be caught off guard later. Next, consider opening a joint account specifically for shared expenses. Each partner can contribute a fair amount every month based on income or mutual agreement. This can make things easier to manage and avoid misunderstandings. And for any smaller variable expenses like groceries, try using a budgeting app that both of you can access. That way, it's easy to track where the money's going and adjust if you need to. Remember, budgeting is a habit that gets easier over time. Don't worry if it takes a month or two to find what works best for you both. And most importantly, check in regularly, whether weekly or monthly, to make sure everything's on track and address any surprises together. What are your thoughts?
I definitely agree with like the shared account thing, and then like also having your own money as well, and definitely like using that shared account like first things first with the like absolute necessities, like just getting like that out of the way, and then still saving up whatever share money you have.
Yeah, I think the shared account is a really good idea.
Yeah, I really like the shared account thing. I feel like that definitely would help with like making sure that you guys are both aware of what you're paying for and especially like the part where it's like budgeting and making sure that you guys both know like what you're contributing every month. So yeah, I really like that. It's a good idea.
Yeah, it could probably teach you responsibility a lot more because of how like it's not just your money, it's someone else's. Like someone else is relying on that too.
Exactly. So you can't just go into the account and just keep using it up. That's not fair to the other person.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about something that can quietly build up in relationships: financial resentment. It's easy for small frustrations to grow into bigger issues when there's a lack of transparency around expenses. If one partner feels like they're shouldering more of the financial load or spending differently than they agreed, resentment can build over time. But the good news is there are ways to avoid this. First, being upfront and proactive is key. Set aside time regularly to discuss finances openly, not just when a big expense comes up. Talk about upcoming costs, monthly budgets, and even long term goals so both of you feel like you're in the loop. Sharing these details can help both partners feel valued and equally invested in financial decisions. And remember, it's not just about dividing expenses evenly, it's about making sure each person feels comfortable with the plan you create. By staying open and tackling financial issues as a team, you can avoid resentment and build a foundation of financial trust. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think communication is like a huge part of relationships in general, but like especially with money, you want to make it clear like if you're actually starting to spend money on each other and together, you want to make it clear how and how much you're going to do it.
Yeah, I think that's really the most important part of like money management in a relationship because I feel like that is like a big reason that marriages, like relationships where people are money, like managing money together and houses and kids and stuff. I feel like that's the big reason that those be failing because like the money just creates so many problems that just like snowball into bigger stuff. And it's just like, if that can be avoided, then I think it's going to be a lot easier to be in a happy relationship for a long time.
I
Yeah,
agree.
because if
Yeah. Oh, you can go ahead.
I was just gonna say because if your partner starts getting you in debt, then there's gonna be a problem.
I agree with both of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive into the world of gift giving expectations, a surprisingly common source of stress in relationships. Have you ever had that moment of panic, wondering if you're spending too much or too little on a gift? Or maybe you found yourself wishing your partner understood your gift giving style. These situations can create a lot of unnecessary pressure, especially if you and your partner have different approaches to gifting. So, how can you make a gift giving less stressful? It's all about setting clear expectations together. Try and having like open conversations about your budgets and what makes each of you feel more appreciated. Some people value big, memorable gifts, while others might be happier with something small but thoughtful. By discussing things like spending limits, preferred types of gifts, or even if you'd like to skip gifts and focus on experiences, you're much less likely to feel disappointed or overwhelmed. And remember, it's the thought and effort that counts the most. When you're both on the same page about what feels meaningful, it takes away that guessing game and allows you to enjoy the act of giving without the worry. A little clarity goes a long way in keeping gift giving fun and stress free. What are your thoughts?
I agree with like setting up the expectations before because like me and my sisters do that for each other. Like we try to decide if we're giving gifts this year or if we're like buying something or making something. And like with gifts, it's the thought that counts and stuff. Um, so overall, it's just like as long as you like keep in mind what your partner wants and expects and like what you can actually do, like I think it like will make the gift kind of worth it in the end. I don't know how to explain it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
think
agree.
I think as long as there's like the communication is there, like my girlfriend, her birthday is actually on Wednesday. I already got the gifts, but she just tells me what she wants, and like she'll tell me what she wants, and the other stuff will be kind of like left to my interpretation. So it's just really at that point, it's just effort and how much money I want to spend. Usually, I haven't really missed yet personally, but hey, so yeah, I think it's not. I think it's easy if you just communicate and tell. Which people can't read your mind. Like nobody's gonna just know exactly what you want. You can like people can know what you like and the type of stuff that you like, but you still have to give some type of direction for what you want if you want to actually, unless you just want to be disappointed. As long as you put in effort from both sides, and it should be fine.
Yeah, like with some of my guests, I'll have to tell like my dad specifically. I'll have to tell him like what I want, and then again like then they might get extra gifts and stuff. And even when I was making gifts, I kept like checking in with the person, seeing if it was what they wanted.
Yeah, yeah. I agree on what both of you said. Honestly, like I think try to avoid stress when it comes to gift giving and making sure you guys understand like the types of things people like um and then after that I feel like it should be really easy to do. Let's see. All right, let's talk about gift giving. Birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, they're special times, but they can also get expensive. One great way to keep things comfortable for both of you is by setting a mutual gift budget. Start by having an open conversation about what you're both comfortable spending. This might feel a bit awkward at first, but setting a budget can actually make the experience more thoughtful. You'll know that each gift, whether big or small, was chosen with care rather than pressured by cost. One tip, try coming up with a fun range rather than an exact amount. For example, agree to spend between $20 to $50 on gifts. giving each other the freedom to give creative without going overboard. And remember, the most meaningful gifts often aren't the most expensive. They're the ones that show thoughtfulness. Sticking to a budget you're both happy with will help keep the joy in gift giving while staying financially comfortable. What are your thoughts?
Mm, like, yeah, just like again, like trying to see what you can do with it. I guess like the only thing I say is like what might be a bit hard is if like your partner clearly wants some sort of surprise and you don't know how to do that. So maybe even just like asking friends or something would help.
Yeah, I think asking friends is really the best thing you can do if it's somebody who just doesn't want to tell you for whatever reason. Like I said, I literally think you can't go wrong if you just tell the person what you want. If you want to just avoid all the stress, all the drama, just say what you want and have the conversation. Like it doesn't have to be anything extra. I understand some people want like a surprise or want to feel like somebody knows them, but we have to be realistic. It's not a Disney movie. There's only so much that somebody can humanly know about you. Like we can't just know what you want. So asking friends is like I think would be the best thing to do in that scenario. And as far as like how much you spend goes, I don't know. It's like I think setting a range is a good idea, but money is weird. I mean, stuff is just expensive nowadays anyway. So it's like I don't know.
I agree with both of you.
Honestly, a gesture can be a gift at this point, just like doing the dishes or something.
Yeah.
Like just like thoughtful stuff, like literally, or just like a compliment, or saying like, "Hey, I'll take you out for dinner." Like it's even like the small things. It doesn't have to be extremely expensive. It like it says, the thought that counts.
Yeah.
All right. So when it comes to gift giving, sometimes the most memorable presents aren't the ones that come with a big price tag. There are so many thoughtful, non-material ways to show you care, even if you're on a budget. One idea is to gift experiences. Think about creating a date night in with a homemade meal, a playlist, and a cozy movie. Or plan a day doing something they love. Rather, it's, whether it's hiking, visiting a local art gallery, or simply taking a walk together. These little experiences can create special memories that last longer than most material gifts. Another idea is to create something personal, like a handwritten letter or a small photo album with favorite memories and notes about why they mean so much to you. Even a simple act of service, like offering to help them with a big project or taking on their chores for a day, can be incredibly meaningful. Gifts like these remind our partners that we're invested in their happiness, and sometimes those small, thoughtful gestures are truly priceless. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think stuff like that really shows you care. Like, especially if you can't afford it, like, especially if the activity isn't something you necessarily enjoy, but your partner enjoys, it really shows, like, how much you're willing to do for them. And I think that matters a little more than just getting them, like, a really gorgeous necklace.
Yeah, I think quality time is definitely important. Like, and it definitely is probably, it honestly depends on the person, but it's probably, depending on the person, it might be more or less valuable than a gift. But I don't think quality time is a gift. Like, those are separate things. Like, if it's your birthday, we can go on a date, but I don't expect you to think that that's your gift. Like, I would still have to get you something in my mind, at least.
Yeah, I think investing in somebody's happiness is definitely something that we should do. And even if it's just like a dinner and like a little movie inside, or like taking someone to their favorite place, those are all like gifts that I feel like people would really love to like to receive from their partner. All right. As we head into the holiday season, one key topic we want to touch on is the importance of planning ahead, especially when it comes to budgeting for the holidays. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Budgeting can feel boring or even stressful, but starting your holiday budget early is one of the best ways to avoid that last minute panic and overspending that can derail your festive spirit. By setting a budget in advance, you give yourselves the chance to discuss your financial goals as a couple. This means you can agree on how much you want to spend on gifts, decorations, and even travel without the pressure of a ticking clock. Plus, it allows for some creativity. You might find ways to save or even make personalized gifts that add a special touch. Remember, the holidays should be about joy and connection, not financial strain. So take some time now to sit down with your partner, plan ahead, and set a budget that works for both of you. This way, you can enjoy the season without the stress of financial worries hanging over your heads. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like definitely like making sure you're not overspending or underspending on each other and like are disappointed with what you receive is super important. So,
Yeah, I agree, basically.
Here is a holiday expense checklist to help you budget effectively for travel, family gatherings, gifts, and all those festive activities. First, let's talk travel. If you're planning to visit family or take a getaway, make sure to book your tickets early to snag the best deals. Consider alternative travel dates and locations if you can. This flexibility can save you a lot. Next, when it comes to family gatherings, plan ahead. Create a budget for food, drinks, and decorations. If you're hosting, consider potluck style gatherings where guests can bring a dish, helping to share the costs. Now, onto the gifts. Set a spending limit for each person on your list and stick to it. Get creative with DIY gifts or experiences, which can be more meaningful than expensive items. Also, keep an eye out for sales and discounts leading up to the holidays. Finally, don't forget about holiday related activities. Whether it's tickets to a holiday show or local festivities, set aside a specific amount for entertainment. This way, you can enjoy the season without the guilt of overspending. What are your thoughts?
I definitely would not have accounted like decorations and like events, but like event wise, it's just like I don't really go to holiday events. But yeah, definitely like actually trying to manage like with like everyone how you're doing things would probably be best, especially so that like people don't start trying to guilt you with like how much they spent when you can't spend that much.
Me personally, I just, I just kind of, I have the mentality where if I try my best on something, then I'm not really mad at people's, like, if you get mad at me for something like that, or you just be like, or somebody's like, you didn't spend enough, I'm like, okay, well, I liked your gift, I thought of you when I got it, so.
Okay. Now, let's talk about a practical strategy that can really help couples manage their finances while also keeping the joy alive during the holidays and special occasions. Using a joint savings account. This is a fantastic way to stay on track together financially and ensure you're both contributing to those special moments without breaking the bank. Setting up a joint account specifically for holiday and special occasion expenses allows both partners to contribute a set amount regularly. You can establish a budget based on your upcoming events, whether it's birthdays, anniversaries, or holiday celebrations. This way, you're both invested in the planning and can discuss how much you want to save together, helping to prevent any surprise costs or financial stress when the time comes. Plus, there's something really rewarding about watching that account grow. It becomes a tangible representation of your teamwork and commitment to creating memorable experiences together. Just make sure to communicate openly about your contributions and what you want to spend the money on so that everyone feels included in the decision making process. What are your thoughts?
I personally think doing anything together is like I think doing anything together is like good for a relationship. So the more you can do like as a couple, the better.
Yeah, like I agree with that. Like just trying to actually work together will probably make you stronger as a couple because then you can, learn everything. And again, like learning to rely on each other.
Okay. I agree with both of what you guys said. Yes, that's really important to do, is to work together as a team. All right, let's talk about creating a safe space for those all important money talks. It's crucial to approach financial discussions with care and understanding, especially since money can be a sensitive topic. Here are some strategies to help ensure these conversations are constructive rather than contentious. First, set the tone for openness. Choose a comfortable environment where both partners feel relaxed and free from distractions. This could be during a quiet evening at home or while enjoying a walk. Make sure it's a time where both of you can engage fully without interruptions. Next, practice active listening. This means giving your partner your full attention, acknowledging their feelings, and validating their concerns without jumping to conclusions or making judgments. It's important to approach the conversation with curiosity rather than defensiveness. Ask open ended questions like, "How do you feel about our current spending habits?" Or, "What financial goals are important to you?" Lastly, establish ground rules. Agree on keeping the conversation free of blame and criticism. Instead of saying, "You always spend too much on coffee," try framing it as, "I've noticed we've been spending a lot on coffee lately. How can we balance that with our other goals?" By focusing on we instead of you create a collaborative atmosphere. Remember, the goal is to strengthen your financial partnership, not to point fingers. Creating a judgment free zone can lead to more productive and supportive conversations about money. What are your thoughts?
I like the thing you said where, like, instead of just like straight up talking about what they're spending it on, trying to like see how you can both overcome it, because at the end of the day, you are both getting affected by it, and it's more important to find a solution rather than just get angry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think making sure you communicate properly, like, is important, like every aspect of a relationship. So especially anything that's really serious, you definitely want to make sure you emphasize communicating it in a way where it's not gonna start an argument or anything like that.
I agree. Now, let's talk about an essential practice for any couple navigating finances together: regular money check ins. This is a simple yet powerful strategy that can help you both stay on the same page about your financial goals and prevent misunderstandings before they arise. Think of these check ins as a scheduled conversation where you can discuss your financial health, review your spending, and revisit your goals. It doesn't have to be a long or formal meeting, just a casual chat over coffee or dinner can do the trick. The key is to create a safe space where both partners feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and concerns. During these check ins, you can celebrate any financial milestones you've achieved together, whether it's paying off a debt or saving for a vacation. You can also address any issues that might have come up since your last discussion. Remember, transparency is crucial. The more you share, the less likely you are to encounter surprises down the line. So, we encourage you to set a regular date on your calendar for these money check ins, whether it's weekly, bi weekly, or monthly. Consistent communication will not only strengthen your financial partnership, but also enhance your emotional connection as you work towards your shared goals together. What are your thoughts?
Definitely, like trying to at least celebrate the milestones would probably motivate and encourage you guys to like a couple to continue doing what they're doing, and just making sure, like, again, like that they're doing everything they need to do and keeping within the budget and stuff and not hurting each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think, like, you know, finding joy in stuff that's not that joyous and like keeping positive reinforcement is always important to being in a healthy relationship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, let's talk about transparency when it comes to finances. Honesty about money is absolutely foundational to building trust in any relationship. When both partners are open about their financial situations, whether it's income, debts, spending habits, or savings goals, it creates a level of understanding that is crucial for a healthy partnership. Being transparent about finances helps prevent misunderstandings and conflicts down the road. For instance, if one partner has significant study loans and the other is unaware, this can lead to friction if financial decisions arise. But by discussing these issues openly, couples can develop a shared approach to budgeting and spending, reducing the chances of future disputes. Moreover, transparency fosters a sense of teamwork. When partners are honest with each other, they're not just sharing numbers, they're sharing their values, goals, and fears. This creates a stronger bond and encourages both partners to work together toward financial goals. Whether it's saving for a house, planning a vacation, or preparing for retirement. Remember, it's not just about the money, it's about building a trusting, supportive relationship. What are your thoughts?
Definitely, like, being honest with your money is super important, especially because, like, again, if you're sharing the account, then that's like super big. If it could like potentially hurt what like you're doing. And again, like making sure you know how the other might work with money and like what they need the money for would probably make that other person conscious about like how that person might think a little more and stuff, and like what they should spend money on and like what they should not.
Yeah, I think money isn't something that's like in a relationship where it's something that there's any reason or any like logical explanation for why you're hiding or not being honest about what you're doing with it, especially when you're sharing accounts and stuff like that and you have bills to pay. There's really no reason, no logical or reason that I would accept, at least for you to just omit anything that you're spending when we're supposed to be doing this as a team.
I agree. All right. Let's quickly recap the key takeaways from today's conversation on financial planning for couples. First, setting shared financial goals is crucial, whether it's saving for a vacation, buying a home, or building an emergency fund. Make sure both partners are on the same page with these goals to create a sense of unity and purpose. Next, budgeting for everyday expenses is important for managing finances without stress. Tracking your spending together can help you stay aligned and avoid surprises. And when it comes to those big ticket items like holiday spending or special events, plan ahead so you're both comfortable with, how much is being spent. Finally, maintaining transparency is key. Having open, honest discussions about money builds trust and keeps any financial issues from turning into bigger problems. As we begin to finish up, we want to take a moment to encourage all couples out there. Remember, when it comes to discussing money, it's okay to stay small. You don't have to tackle everything at once. Perhaps begin with a simple check-in about your weekly expenses or your financial goals. This can open the door to more significant discussions down the line. Communication is key. Make it a habit to check in with each other regularly. Share your thoughts and feelings about money openly, and don't shy away from discussing your dreams and concerns. This ongoing dialogue can really help both partners feel more aligned and secure. Finally, keep in mind that financial planning is a journey, not a destination. As you navigate this together, you're more likely to face challenges, but you'll also create opportunities for deeper connection and, understanding. Embrace the process, support each other, and watch your bond grow stronger as you work towards your financial future together. Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Love Unfiltered. We hope you found valuable insights into better communicating with your partner. And thank you to our wonderful guests for joining us today. We are excited to tease our next episode and topic, Bridging the Gap When Worlds Collide, where we will explore the complexities of introducing a partner to your family. This can be a pivotal moment in any relationship, and it often comes with its own set of challenges and emotions. We'll discuss how to prepare for that first introduction, navigate potential cultural differences, and ultimately create a meaningful connection between your partner and your loved ones. Don't miss it. Be sure to tune in next week as we continue to unpack the complexities of love and connection. I'm Logan. Until then, take care and remember to prioritize your well-being in all your relationships.